We're ready to sew together the friendship star block today. Come on in and get yourself all situated. Grab a drink or a snack. Grab your pieces if you're going to sew along with me today. So great to see everybody. Yes, the friendship star block. That's what we're doing today. You'll see a picture of the block up on the screen, and you'll also see all of the measurements and pieces that you'll need for this block. If you missed yesterday's video, just letting you know, the measurements with the little stars next to them, you can cut those pieces at 8 inches by 8 inches and then trim down your half square triangles in the end if you want to do that. Good morning, everybody. Yes, the friendship star. Make sure to stay tuned until the end of this video or come back if you need to. I'm going to show you the block and measurements for tomorrow. It's pretty. I'm excited. Today's block will be much easier than the block we did together yesterday. Although that block was really fun, right? That's my new favorite block so far. I have a couple of questions lined up for our chat today, so if you want to play along with that. The main reason why we're doing these videos is so we can talk with one another, right? So I hope you participate in the chat if you want to. And if you're watching this on the replay, I would love to hear the answers to your questions down in the comment section. If you know anybody who needs some social time, if they're stuck in their house, some of your friends, and they enjoy sewing, share these videos with them, and then they can come over and join the lives and participate in the questions too, and we'll meet your friends. We'll become friends. That'll be awesome. Hello, everybody. So great to see you this morning. It is Friday. I was just saying on Facebook, who has lost track of which day it is? I think the only reason I'm keeping track of which day it is because I use a planner. You'll see it right there. I plan out my days, and so I've not lost track of my days, but I could see if I was not someone who used a planner, I would very easily lose track of which day it was. Good morning, everybody. It's so great to see you. So most of us were here yesterday and caught all of the measurements you see on the screen. I'm going to take those down for a second. I'll show you my fabrics for today. I'm going to go ahead and use the red, white, and blue. You'll see my pieces are ready to go. Hello, everybody. So great to see you. Yes, Lisa. Yesterday did feel like a Friday, didn't it? It did. It felt like Friday yesterday. So here are my pieces. I'm going to show you my sample block that I made because I had never made a friendship star block before. So I did it in a different colorway. I think that's really pretty. That's the block we're making today. I'm going to show you how to make 4 half square triangles. Really easy. So that's what we're doing today. If you've been quilting for some time, you might already know how to make 4 half square triangles. Really quick and easy. Ooh, I'm chilly in here today. The sun is out though. That's awesome. So this is the block we're doing today. Because this block is going to go together much faster today, we're going to go ahead and start with the questions. I have 4 questions lined up and then a little bit of homework at the end. So if you stick around, I have a question at the end and I want to get some feedback on that. So that would be great. Our first question for today, before we get started sewing these pieces, would you rather be stuck with someone who talked nonstop all the time? Whenever they're awake, they were constantly talking nonstop. or be stranded on a deserted island all by yourself? So that's the first question. Would you rather be stuck with someone who nonstop talked or stuck on a deserted island all by yourself? That's the first question. So we're going to go ahead and get started with today's tutorial. The very first thing we're going to do is we're going to put aside that red and a blue blocks, the 4.5 by 4.5 inch blocks. We're going to set those aside for a second. Now you might be working with these two blocks. I've cut mine exactly 7 inches by 7 inches. And I'm just going to hope and pray that they come out exactly 4.5 by 4.5. I did, however, say that you could cut these blocks at 8 inches by 8 inches and then trim down and square up your half square triangles. Words are hard today. When you're done. I'm going to try to get perfect little 4.5 by 4.5 half square triangles. The very first thing we're going to do is we're going to take these two fabrics and we're going to take the pretty sides and put them together, okay, and line up all of the raw edges directly one on top of the other. You can throw a pin in there if that helps you keep them nice and lined up. Throw a pin right in the middle. Set your seam allowance for 1/2 inch on your sewing machine. Sherry, you say you're the talker? I'm a quiet person. I could go 24 hours without talking. That's why sometimes I have to have a piece of candy close by or a drink because I'm not used to talking this much, y'all. I could go all week without saying one word and be completely happy. So all the talking, it does a number on my voice. Once you have your two pieces pinned, we're going to bring this over to the sewing machine, okay? And what we're going to do is we're going to sew from edge to edge all the way on all 4 sides of our block with a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Try to keep it as straight as you can. Go slow if you need to. 1/4 inch all the way from edge to edge. I'm going to show you that here, over here. Yep, I could go all day without saying one word and be perfectly satisfied. All right, so you'll see the presser foot is lined up to the raw edge of my fabric. Sewing with a 1/4 inch. My needle is off the fabric. I'm going to do that all the way around. I'm going to lift up my needle, pull it away some. I'm not even going to cut those threads. I'm just going to leave them just like that. Lower my needle back down and just pick back up on the other side. Turn it around, line it up. And now we just have one more side to do. All right, there's our 4 seams. I'm going to take that off of the sewing machine. It's so great to see everybody this morning. I can't wait to go back and read all of your answers. Let me just scroll through and see if we have any questions. Y'all, it'll be really easy if you have questions, if you can type them in all caps, that way when I scan through, I can see them really easy and hopefully I don't miss the questions. The rest of the chat, I like to come back. My Friday evening will be reading all of your comments. So here is our 7.5. Let me do something real quick. Let me, because I see that that keeps focusing and that gets on my nerves. If it lets me. I don't like that auto focus. It makes my eyes really blurry. I like to try to remember to turn it off before I start the video, but I forgot. Okay, hopefully I can move around and yeah, there we go. Yay. So here's our squares, and we just finished sewing our seam on all 4 sides. The very next thing we're going to do is we're going to make 2 cuts, okay? I'm going to cut from corner to corner one way, then we'll flip it around and cut corner to corner the other way. That's going to give us our half square triangles for this block. Our second question for the day is another would you rather. Would you rather always, for the rest of your life, be an hour early to every place you go to, your doctor's appointments, your meetings, work, get-togethers, birthday parties? Would you always rather be an hour early, or would you rather be 20 minutes late for everything that you do? An hour early or 20 minutes late? I'm going to stand up to make these cuts because I'd rather be safe. We're going to line up our ruler with the corners. Being really careful not to shift that around. There's our first cut. Just like that. Now we're going to turn it around. Line everything back up. And we're going to cut the opposite direction. All right, here are our half square triangles. I'm going to heat up my iron, wake that back up. While that's heating up, I'm going to go ahead and trim off my dog ears for my half square triangles. I'm an early person. I would rather be early, an hour early. Running late to anything makes me nervous. I'm a nervous wreck if I'm running late. So I'd rather be an hour early. If that means that I just sit in my car for an hour scrolling through Facebook or watching YouTube videos or chit-chatting with whoever I'm with for an hour, I'd rather do that. My nerves, I cannot handle being late. All right, so I just trimmed off my little dog ears. This is what your half square triangle will look like. And I'm going to press this seam over to the dark side. Renee, I'm not quite sure how we're going to connect all of these. You could put a sashing around each one of your blocks if you want to. I might just put them all together without a sashing. I haven't decided what I'm going to do yet. The real focus of the video is really like block tutorials and spending time. I do think that I will make a quilt out of these blocks, but I haven't decided because I don't know how many blocks we're going to have yet. The iron that I have is a Black & Decker. It came from Walmart, and it's the purple one. There isn't a model number on the iron, I've looked, but it's the purple one with the extra long cord. Hello, everybody. So, yep, here's our half square triangles. I'm going to go ahead and give these a quick press. I say quick, but I'm not a quick presser. I don't press quickly at all. Now, if you made your squares 8 inches or bigger, once you're done pressing, you're going to want to square up your half square triangle to 4.5 by 4.5. I've got one more left to do. So here's my half square triangles. Our third question for the day: what motivates you to work extra hard, either at work or at home, maybe on a project you're doing? What is a huge motivation to work even extra hard on your projects or at work? Something that motivates you. Let's see if my half square triangles turned out 4.5 by 4.5. 1, 2, 3, 4.5. I'm a little bit over. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm a little bit over. That's okay. I'm gonna leave it just like that. It'll do. All right, so with our half square triangles, let's go ahead and lay out this block, right? At this point, you'll have 4 half square triangles. You should have 4 of these blocks. I'm using blue. Of course, your colors might be different. And then 1 red one. We're going to place the red one right in the center of this block. We're going to put the solid blue ones in the 4 corners. I think for me, family is a huge motivating factor. I will bust my butt to get something done for my family. There we go. So we've got the solid blue in the 4 corners. The red one is in the center. Deadlines, yes. I work really well under pressure. That sometimes motivates me to be a procrastinator. I'll wait until the last minute, but then I work really well and focused under pressure. Now with our half square triangles, we're going to lay them out just like this. Nope, like that. Oh, a white star, Lisa. It's a white star. There we go. A white star. There we go. There's the layout for the friendship block. Trying to get it all in the screen. And then at this point, it's a simple 9 patch, right? There we go. Gonna leave that on the screen for just a second so that you can get caught up if you're sewing along live with me today. It's so great to see everybody. Thank y'all for spending part of your Friday with me. Yes, Laurel, you're right. Huge shout out to all of the healthcare workers, nurses, doctors, vets, anyone in the healthcare industry. Thank you so much. Not only that, I'm so grateful for all of the essential workers, you know, the people working at our grocery stores. They are doing their jobs even at the risk of being exposed, right? Imagine if all the stores closed down, where we would be. Not just that, you know, your essential businesses that have to run, right? Your gas stations, all that stuff. Thank you so much. Wanda, the first question was, would you rather be stuck with someone 24/7 who nonstop continuously talked all the time? Or would you rather be on a deserted island by yourself for the rest of our life, right? Stuck with someone who talks nonstop, or be by yourself on a deserted island. The second question was, would you rather always be an hour early to every place you go, or would you rather always be 20 minutes late? Thank you so much, Diane57, for moderating for me. All right, so this is where we are. At this point, y'all, we've done 9 patches several times together. I'm going to flip this right over, and I'm going to do some chain piecing. You'll be able to see that on the sewing machine. Line those up just like that. And we're sewing these together with a 1/4 inch seam as well. We'll bring over the second set. My half square triangles are a little bit bigger. You'll see that. You'll see that. That's okay. I have one more question lined up for today. Here in just a minute, I'll ask the last question, and then I do have some homework. Well, it might be homework for some of you. Some of you might already know about this, but I'm wondering, has anyone ever, from my videos or from anywhere else, have you ever gone to the description box and opened that up and downloaded something for free that was offered through Dropbox? Like I have the Be Grateful quilt, it's got a big flower with a bee on it. That is offered in one of my videos, and the pattern is in a Dropbox file in the description box. Have you done that? Yes, I cleaned my machine. I was using the right bobbin, but my machine needed a good cleaning. That's what was causing the noise, which was funny. So here's my 3 blocks. We're going to open those up and add the third one in each row. Just like that. I'm not even going to cut these connecting threads. Just going to leave them on there. I've been thinking about some block layouts that you would need applique templates for. And so that we all have the same templates, I would need a way of sharing those templates with you. They would be free, but right now Dropbox is the easiest way for me to get you the applique templates. So that's what I'm thinking about. That's the reason I'm asking. Sewing our second piece. And then bringing in this third one. You haven't found the description box. Okay, so you should see, let me see. I'm looking at my cell phone. Let me go to the top of, oh, you'll have to leave the live chat to do it. Right next to the name of this video, there's an arrow that is pointing down if you're using a mobile device. If you click on that arrow, it opens a box of information. You can put links in there. You can put links to other videos in there. Sometimes I put links to my patterns in there. And if I offer something free, it's usually in a Dropbox file in the description box. If you're watching from a computer, look underneath of the name of the video and you should see a box that says see more or see more details. It might say something different. Look for that box and you click on it and the description box opens up. You do not have to have an account with Dropbox in order to download something that you have a link for. But Dropbox is free. If you want to register for an account, the whole downloading process is a little easier if you have a Dropbox account, but it's not necessary. But it is free. It is the easiest way for me to share with unlimited amounts of people patterns so that we all have the same applique templates. That was our third piece on our third row. So here we are. I'm going to go ahead and cut all of these connecting threads and we're going to give the seams a press. You can press them open if you like. I'm going to press mine to the side, left, right, left, so that I can nest up those seams. Press them to the right, Lisa. Press them in the other way. It's Friday, but it's feeling kind of like a Monday, to be really honest. There we go. All right, so here's our 3 rows all pressed and ready to be joined together. And I have my 4th question lined up. When you were growing up, what did you want to be when you grew up? No, Dropbox is completely free. You do not have to pay for it. I don't know how many patterns. There's a few blocks that I want to make that have circles. And for the circles, we would do some applique. So if we do that, I would want to offer the same template in the Dropbox so that you could download it for free and use that in the block. But I will also offer a way that you could make your own circle templates. There's a flower block I really want to do, and I would like to be able to offer that template as well. And if you don't have a printer, if you can't download from Dropbox, then maybe you can draw your own flower petals. Anyway, that's for future blocks down the road. I already have the next 5 blocks planned out, and there's no applique in them. It's just a thought that I had. Lisa, I have so much stuff in my Dropbox, and it's still free for me. I don't know how much more I could add before they start charging me, but wow, they must offer a lot of free storage. All right, so to finish up this block, we're turning the 2nd row right on top of the 1st row, and we're going to bring that over to the sewing machine. Match up those seams. You could put some pins in the seam if you need to. So there's our first 2. Now we're going to line up the 3rd block right onto the 2nd block and sew that seam. Y'all, if you have questions for me, if you put them in all caps, it's going to be really easy to come back, stroll through and see. As soon as I get this seam done, I'll scroll through and see if you have questions. My half square triangles were a little bit bigger. That's throwing me off a little bit. I should have went ahead and trimmed them up. I should have just trimmed them up. And And here we are. I'm going to give this block a press, and then we'll do our big reveal of my red and white friendship star block. I really like this block too. At some point, I imagine it's going to be really hard to start picking a favorite, right? I imagine that it's going to get harder and harder because I really like this block too. And overall, it's pretty simple, right? 4 half square triangles and then putting it together like a 9 patch. All right, Miss Wanda, I was wondering what type of design you like when hand quilting your pieced top. I don't do hand quilting. I want to, but I've never done it. I've tried, but I hadn't had the patience for it before. That's one of my goals for this year is to hand quilt a quilt, but I have not done it yet. The blocks on your back wall, do you have a video on them? Yes. This friendship star block is video number 11. There are 10 other videos, a video for each one of the blocks you see up on the wall behind me. They're all in a playlist grouped together. And so once this video is done publishing, it takes a few minutes for it to process, and then you'll be able to see this video again on YouTube. It's grouped together with all of the 10 blocks before. Right, Barbara? That's a simple way to do half square triangles 4 at a time. Yes, that's pretty. I like this block a lot. Let me get my sample one. That one's done in a different colorway. So you could do them all the same, like all the same, repeated. I'll show you what that would look like here in just a second. Or you could do them scrappy, right? Where each star is a different color and a different block, just like this, grouped together. I like that a lot. Can you make it smaller? Yes, Rachel, you could make this block smaller. You'd have to figure out the math for your blocks. It's a 9 patch, and so you could reduce the sizes of your 4 corners and reduce the sizes of your half square triangles. Off the top of my head, I'm not that great at math. It would take me a minute, but you can certainly do that. You could make this block smaller. So let me show you one more time before we move on to the information for tomorrow's block. Let me show you what this block would look like repeated as a quilt. That's pretty, right? I'm thinking Quilt of Valor would come together really quickly with this block. You could just sit and do a bunch of chain piecing and knock out a bunch of blocks pretty quick, right? Isn't that pretty? And also you could turn this block on point and get a different look as well. So when I say on point, instead of putting your blocks together in this seam, you would have them going like this. And then this would be a block and this would be a block. It would give you a totally different look. What size are your blocks? Mary, today's block is a 12-inch block. We've done 6-inch blocks. We've done 8-inch blocks. There's a 10-inch block in there, and then some 12-inch blocks. All the blocks are divisible by 2. Believe it or not, we will get all of these together either with or without sashing at the end. You don't have to do that. It's not so much a quilt along to make a quilt, but it's possible that you could put all of these different size blocks together as a quilt. You're so welcome. Thank you for spending your Fridays with me. Yes, let me get a sip of water and then I'm going to show you the block that we're doing tomorrow. If you're just joining in and this is the first video that you've seen, you can catch the measurements on the replay if you've missed them here. I also, at the end of these live videos, I show you what's coming up for the next day. And so you can go ahead and get all of your pieces cut and ready to go for the live tomorrow. Tomorrow we're doing the mosaic star block. You'll see what it looks like repeated as a quilt. You'll see the individual block and you'll see all of the pieces that you need to cut. You can change the colors if you want to. Laura, I try coming on around 12, but it depends because Harlan is working from home right now. Usually he's gone during the day at work, but he's at home working and they have meetings at different times. And so if he has a meeting, that might hold me up. But I try to come around lunchtime or my lunchtime, 12 Eastern Standard Time. But that could vary, so don't hold me to that. Yes, Sue, you'll have all these, sorry. I was starting to lose my voice. You have all of these blocks in one place, right? So if you want to make some filler blocks for a quilt that you're doing, even a t-shirt quilt, you know, sometimes we need to fill in some empty spaces. Just scroll through the videos until you see a block that you like, and then you can make those for your quilt. Maybe you need a baby quilt or someone's getting married and you need a quick quilt to put together. I like to show what the block would look like if you just made this one block and repeat it to make a quilt out of it. I like to show examples because maybe you don't want to put all of these blocks together. I think it would make a fantastic sampler quilt, but maybe you don't want to do that. This is what it would look like repeated by itself. It's so great to see everybody here. I cannot wait to read all of your answers to the questions this evening. That's been one of my favorite times during the day. And before we go, if I have missed any of your questions, retype it in all caps so that I get it before we're done for today. Yes, this is tomorrow's block. Saturday, the mosaic star block. Yes, half square triangles, half square triangles. Yes, Linda, I did use Inkscape for the examples. Oh, Dorothy, don't be scared. It's just I have it written down. Cut your pieces out. It's just all in the way that we're laying it out, and I'm going to break it down into 4 units. You're going to make the same unit 4 times, and then we put together this block like a simple 4 patch. I'm going to break it down and try to make it really easy. And yeah, you can do this. I know it looks complicated, but I think it looks complicated because it has that one little red half square triangle in each one of the 4 patches. We're going to make it super simple tomorrow. Donna, sometimes I do starch my fabric, sometimes I don't. I think it depends on the feeling of the fabric. If it has a good solid tooth to it already, if it has some body to it, I don't starch. But uh, if it's really flowy and drapey, and I have a hard time cutting it for it to stay nice and exact, then I'll throw some starch in there and press it. I will be here tomorrow. Please tell us what program you are using. Okay, I'm using 2 programs right this second. All right, y'all. I'm using OBS so that I can show you different scenes. I can show you my sewing machine, my work table. You can see me. I can add text to the screen. I could share pictures with you. I could share my desktop and do a slideshow. This is all OBS. For, let's see, I'm going to pull this up. This is tomorrow's pieces. For the example quilt you see and the sample block, I used a free program called Inkscape. It is spelled Inkscape. It is a free download on the Googles. Yes, it does look like it has the flying geese. I have not made this block yet, so this was what I'll be doing this afternoon is making this block. And I'm going to try to make it so that it's easiest for everybody. Even a beginner could pick up these pieces and make this block tomorrow. Mary, it depends on Harlan's work schedule. He's working from home and he has meetings throughout his day and he has no control over what time his work does the meetings. So I'm coming in live in between those meetings when I can. I like to keep it the same time every day if possible, but that might vary from day to day. So let me show you our finished block for today. This is it. I love the red, white, and blue. That would make an awesome quilt. I'm going to start getting to a point where it's going to be really hard to pick a favorite block because several of these I really like a lot. Diane, if you're wanting to make design some stuff like what I show on the screen, then yeah, you could use Inkscape. You have to download it. Oh yeah, tomorrow's Saturday. No, he's not working Saturday. So around noontime, around the same time tomorrow. Sunday depends on if we're gonna stream on at church our normal time or if we're gonna watch it later. So it's hard to commit to a certain time, but I like it to be the same time if I can. Yes, thank you, Gloria. If you subscribe to my channel, there's a little bell next to the word subscribe. Hit the bell, and then you'll have an option where you can turn on all notifications, and then you should get notified when I publish a new video or when I go live. And so if you're just hanging out and you're wondering, your cell phone might pop up and say, Lisa's live on YouTube. Wanda, what I'm doing during this series is I'm going live on my Lisa Capen Quilts Facebook page first before we come over here on YouTube. And so if you're on Facebook, go to Lisa Capen Quilts on Facebook and follow me there. You'll get notified when I go live there. And we do a short greeting. We can chat a little bit. And that's getting me warmed up. And then we come over here to YouTube and we start the tutorial here. All right, y'all, what do you think? I can't wait to start to see some of the pictures of your friendship star blocks. I've been seeing pictures of everybody's blocks, 1 through 10, and I'm amazed. Y'all are doing so fantastic. Yes, you're doing so good. So tomorrow, I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. I can't wait to read all of the answers to your questions. Thank you so much for spending time with me, and most of all, what I really hope from this video is that we are fighting against loneliness. We are fighting against depression and anxiety. We're getting rid of all those things, even if it's just for a moment in our day. That's my main focus of these videos, y'all. I hope we learn something. I hope we learn new skills and new blocks. But I'm mainly just really wanting to spend some time with you and be a distraction in your day, right? Thank you all so much. Before we go, Jean, can you share your church with us on Facebook? I don't know. I will look into that. I go to Next Level Church in Yorktown, Virginia. So they have a website. You can check them out and you could stream from their website directly. All right, y'all. I hope you have a fantastic Friday. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. And until I do, have fun creating, have fun sewing, do something fun for yourself today, okay? See you tomorrow. Bye.